pans out. Thing is, the Ags build-up is going to be very effective, I think, for the Bristleback. But this is one of those games where the Ags is probably very well worth it. Like, the AoE Nasal Goo, that will hurt the draft of GRIN quite a lot.
Yeah, it definitely will. Like, once you take these prolonged fights, having all of that Nasal Goo is going to be pretty effective for the Bristle. I think there's some dancing around you can do here as well, but I'm not sure. It just feels like the timing for Bristle having to rely on the Ags is maybe not the quickest in certain lanes. And your lane matchup against something like the Beastmaster can be a little bit awkward, although Muzi is starting up top, but he could just twin gate down bot, I suppose. They are looking for some shenanigans. We don't tend to see too many musical lanes nowadays because of these twin gates.
No.
The battle begins.
Bounty Ruins. The Rain Prince is trying to snipe one away from MTD and does pick it up. Nice pick up there from the Batrider. Tips out immediately from Rojo Fire Flu. And it's going to be another game where there's a 3-1 start the way of GRIN Esports. So they automatically get the net worth advantage to go their way. You know, one other thing, by the way, John, with this Bristleback that could claim to be quite strong is if you do have the Sven stacking for the Ancients, you do now have a hero in the Bristle that can take the stacks away quite early on. Much earlier than the Sven should be able to. Assuming you scout them out.
Yeah, definitely could get that done here for Scourge McDuck. We'll see if they manage to get that scouting out. Can be a little bit hard when your lane is still Beastmaster plus the Batrider. That is still a lane that can overwhelm you with spell spam, but with a silencer up, you can mitigate some of that spell spam with the Arcane Curse at least. Still taking a look down mid. MTD on that Ember, and a Pangolier coming out once more for Rojo Fire Flu. This one, Rojo Fire Flu has played multiple times. We have seen him maybe struggle a little bit up against the Ember matchups, but not by too much. Tends to at least draw even here. And even from behind, as long as he hits his level 6 on the Pango, he still feels pretty confident. I think the one thing you will have to watch out for is, again, support movement out. If B-God can kind of leave this lane up top and work his way mid to play with that Ancient Seal, that's where things can get a little bit dicey for that Pango.
Yeah, absolutely. See how Rojo tries to deal with it. Of course, top lane. Gonna have Soul and Salivating Salamander against Arde and B-God. I think this is a lane where you can provide a lot more harassment towards the duo of GRIN Esports here, just with the Skywrath alone. So much damage that can be pumped out here from B-God. But at the same time, if he gets caught, they can dish a lot of damage back the other way. This is a 0 base armor hero. So the Sven will have a very good time. The Salivating Salamander. Oh, he gets bashed. You know, I'm a Spirit Breaker player. I can't whine about that because I've done that many times myself. That is very unlucky for the Pugna.
It's all skill. You know, Ade pumped out the attacks, I'm sure. He counted the attacks he did in the creeps. He's like, all right, it's 100% now. Even at 0 attacks, he's like, it's 100% a first hit bash. All skill. Salivating Salamander. And that is one shortcoming of the Pugna here as well. Like you talked about, the Skywrath Mage getting caught out. Same story for Pugna. He does have a little bit more armor to play with, to be fair, but still susceptible to the rundown. And that is going to be the focal point for the cut up top. Still taking a look down bot. Scourge McDuck and Empyrean on the Bristleback, and the Silencer up against Muzi and Rain Prince on that Beastmaster Batrider. This lane, I mean, your Bristleback does have a little bit more presence. Your Silencer can do a lot more work preventing the spell spam as well. So it's not the worst thing in the world. But it's also not completely unplayable for this duo as well. Like, you can still throw out the Axis, still clear out the creep wave. You are off to a slower start for Muzi this time around, but I don't see you being fully suppressed. Granted, early times for Scourge McDuck into the Vanguard can cause a lot of issues for this lineup here, especially for this offlane of Muzi. So I think as long as, even if they're farming a little bit in the Beastmaster, as long as you're getting that Vanguard time for Scourge McDuck, you don't care too much.
We suddenly don't. Top lane, Soul, taking a bit of damage. Charges there from Arde. And a lot of magical damage coming out from B-God. Not caring for the armor of Soul. Salivating Salamander going to kind of intervene, and of course with the added movement speed of the Warcry, Soul is going to be able to create some distance here between himself and Arde. Still not proving to be very easy slowing down Soul here in the top lane. Or at least doing a decent job in the CS department. While Salivating Salamander and B-God just going to go at it. B-God just happy to go for the right clicks. Does place a sentry, but ends up getting de-watered immediately. I'm not sure what the idea really was there from B-God. You weren't in position to get the de-ward on the sentry of Salivating Salamander. Meanwhile, mid lane, Rojo Fire Flute almost goes down. Top lane again, charges out onto the Pugna though. Salivating Salamander is going to go down. Another nice pickup here for B-God. It's R8 getting some bashes, very, very nice. Soul cannot continue the chase onto the Skyra. Bottom, however,
Yeah,
Scourge. It's a lot of damage, but oh, he misses the cool spray. Rain Prince seems to be okay. He's out. A very nice split from Muzi and Rain Prince.
Under attack.
Scourge, he was right smack bang in the middle of those two, hoping to hit both of them with the cool spray, but neither one copped it.
Bit of a missed opportunity there for Scourge McDuck, but again, they're coming out of it with a pretty free lane here on the Bristleback now.
Nice sleight of fist. Able to get the kill here on the Ember. Really stretching the hero to its limit. Not a great feeling for Rojo.
He's had a slower start than Pango. Again, this lane matchup for Pango doesn't tend to feel that good. He is still lining up for a decent timing in the 6, but you already have your 6 up on MTD. So he's more than happy to play the lane. Keep soaking up. Up top, though, getting a little bit aggressive. They're dragging in Rain Prince for this as well.
Yeah, they certainly are. B-God, top lane, not going to survive. Nice pickup. RA, proving to be a little bit too quick. With the phase boots up, has the level 1 bulldoze as well. Because as the core Spirit Breaker, you do enjoy going for at least 1 point in bulldoze early on. As mid lane, Rojo gets the swashbuckle off, but MTD still chasing. Flamebreak is there. Rojo's got the help. Now MTD is in danger. He'll go for a sleight of fist, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think, to survive. The chase is on. Swash is not enough. Rojo, he's in trouble again. The Pango, he's gone. MTD, he survives on like 35 HP. They didn't have enough.
It's just not quite there. Not enough output. And MTD again dancing around with this level advantage he has on the Ember. I'm surprised Rojo goes for that play without his level 6. And at this point, you just wait for your 6, look for the roll, and once all of those remnants are expended, you have a pretty easy time dancing around that Ember. But gets a bit impatient. Maybe MTD just pushing the envelope a little bit too hard for him to wait. Does get pinned down once more. No TP into the lane, has to walk back. Walk of Shame proceeds, and the cut this time coming out with much stronger times. Cleaner executions in their lanes, much greater presence out. I will say MTD on the Ember is also a favorable thing, although.
Trying to go for the 7-minute Wisdom Rune timing. Rain Prince still around. He could snag it. Can he out-click the side of the Radiant? Not quite. He'll go down just beforehand. Nice attempt, at least, from Rain Prince. Just half a second off, having a shot at that Wisdom Rune. Still is going to be a 1-for-1 in the end. Now, they do at least get their own one, GRIN Esports. Well, look at Empyrean Johnston. He's scouting out here, Johnny. He's trying to find these stacks.
They've got the Vanguard up in Scourge, so they can just clear it out with that Bristle back up and running. If they find the opportunity to do so. Not the healthiest mana pool for you to spam out your cold sprays, but...
Mid lane. Rojo. He was just copping shots from all sides, all angles, and Ade had the charge the whole time. So Rojo Fire Flu will die for the 3rd time this game already. 7 minutes, 45 seconds in. And now the stacks are to be taken by Scourge.
Just gets that cleared out. Gets the free EXP. Lots of gold going his way. Soul Ring fully done now as well. So should have even more mana to play with up front. And the pressure's already coming out on mid. Like MTD doing a fantastic job to make sure Rojo doesn't feel like he has any game early on. Inside of GRIN, they can still take these fights. They just lack a little bit of that control until, say, Muzi comes in with a roar.
Yeah, I mean, Muzi just nowhere near ready yet. He's still just trying to get the Vanguard up. Taking his own stacks right now on the Beastmaster. A very tough game here for the Beast. Mid lane. Rojo 5 Flute again going down. That's 4 deaths now for the Pango. MTD really popping off here with his supports. 1-0-3 is the Ember scoreline, but it feels like it should be something like 4-0 with the way this game's gone here in the mid lane. Meanwhile, top, Soul's getting bashed right now by Ade. Ade hoping for the 17% to kick in. Gaben will not be too kind. Only got it once. Soul still messing around with the Spirit Breaker, but now help is incoming. Charge immediately under the Pugna. No hesitation from Ade, and he will secure the kill. Soul at least gets the TP away. So MTD will not be able to find the vision for the chains.
Miss out on the bigger kill, but they've got this opportunity to shove in top, get a little bit more map control for themselves, buy a ton of space out for Scourge McDuck. Uncontested down to Bristleback, pulling the wave into the camps, being highly efficient on the hero. And this is where things get a lot rougher for GRIN. Not having the safety net of the stacks, not having as much for Soul to farm up on. Still has like a double ancient stack, at least in the triangle. And it's certainly not enough to get that ball rolling here for the Sven. So the cut already, again, correcting quite well from game one. For GRIN, I mean, it has to launch off from Rojo Firefly. Like, he needs to be able to find way more here. But he's 3 levels behind in comparison to MTD.
3 levels is not something you see too often in the mid lane, but that is a real wash if I've ever seen one. MTD now with a regen rune. Top lane, Ade will be chased by Rain Prince, but he's going to be fine to Nether Strike his way out of this. And
Dash.
now Rain, oh, he mistimed. Ade, he could have afforded to get one hit in, but he thought it would be a shorter cooldown and or rather a shorter duration of the TP. That was not the case. And you know what, John?
Not?
Had he gone for the hit, I could have almost guaranteed he would have bashed.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's how it works. Right in the nick of time. When you need that, oh, you're just going to get bashed. Maybe Ade didn't have vision as well. I think that was a very sneaky tree spot coming out there from Rain Prince. So maybe just in the right spot to not get spotted out there. Still, the cut. They get control of this game now. Top tier 1 cleared out. They are focusing bot, but Scourge McDuck with a Vanguard rushing to the axe. Not an easy target to go for.
Oh, Muzi, bottom lane. He's already had a tough game here in the Beastmaster. Trying for a TP play out, but is not going to make it. Scourge finding his first kill of the game, 1-0 now. Might even find his second very soon because MTD's setting up on the Ember. Gonna find Salivating Salamander. But a nice TP away. Ade was not within range to go for another strike. But they won't mind the cut. They're just going to focus on the bottom tier 1 tower, and it's going to be quite free. With all the damage you can deal with the Bristleback at level 6. And I say level 6, Scourge McDuck is currently level 10. So you can kind of see how well this lane went as well. It's mid lane. Charge out, Rojo. Not being given a break. Jump in again, Rojo is down. Even I'm feeling bad for the poor guy now, John. He's got 5 deaths on the Pengo. Not even 1 assist, let alone 1 kill on the Pangolin.
He hasn't had a game at all. The cut's just been oppressing mid, ensuring that GRIN doesn't have that teamfight launching point. Like, everyone's slowing down. Rain Prince not able to rush into the drums or the blink. Lasso's coming up soon at the least, so a little bit more control. But running up into this lineup a lot harder than it was in the last game. And you're still needing to stall out for Soul, working onto the Echo Saber, into the blink. Once that's up, perhaps you have that one way of starting these fights with a Blink Stormhammer at very least, but it does feel like the follow-through from the other cores are going to be a lot slower.
Rojo, run.
Oh my god.
Get out of there, Rojo. These guys are crazy. They see the Pango, they see red.
Yeah, they just want to gun him down. Maybe disagreeing with his musical choice. You know, they weren't chatting in the lobby a while ago, but they saw Rojo's music recommendations. They must have thought, that's not good. No, just run him down. It's like, prove a point.
I mean, this is music to the cutsies right now, John. Oh, maybe not MTD. He is quite far forward on the Ember, but he has a remnant. He's fine.
Yeah, just look at the positioning of the cut all across the river. Not giving any room out to GRIN. Constantly clearing out, constantly forcing movements out. They've got some good aggressive vision as well here on the triangle to spot out when the stacks are being taken. That does allow them to contest down line. They will go for a smoke play now.
They will. Rojo, he'll get the Rolling Thunder in time. Chains will do nothing, except a tiny bit of damage onto Rojo. Remnant away. Empyrean getting caught here on the silencer. Global silence is going to be forced out before he does die. In fact, he's not dead yet. He's still running. Empyrean is going to go down eventually, but not before Rojo will lose his own life. But now they've got the lasso. MTD's down. That's a good start. In fact, Scourge ran in. Scourge ran in. And Scourge will go right down. Soul to take a double kill on the Sven. That's a problem. That's a pretty big problem. They just fed 2 core kills back the way of GRIN Esports. Like, all right, Rojo Fireflu, he does die. It's his 6th time dying, John. I'm pretty sure at this point he's used to it.
Yeah, and you're basically killing off support there on the side of Cut, considering the farm of Rojo Fireflu. It's not that much. Those are big kills to give out to GRIN. Like, I don't know why Scourge McDuck runs in like that. He's not that tanky yet. Maybe when he ags up, you could argue, you could try, but you've got the single target control now. With a roar and with a lasso ready, you commit like that, you just get punished. The global sounds had to come out early from Empyrean as well, because he was dying there.
Top lane,
So,
Bash,
ooh,
Ade.
that's a lot.
Maybe another one? He wants another one. He's not going to get it though. Now the strike was on cooldown. He will have it up now. Doesn't have the charge available. Towards the south, MTD is actually fighting Rojo Fireflu. Will not be able to secure the kill into the Pangolier anymore on his own. Does now have the Maelstrom up though on the Ember, so a nice little power spike for him. Doesn't need to be too cautious in the mid lane right now, because the Roar isn't up on Muzi. Still 20 seconds away from being off cooldown. But they probably will need to be a little bit wary of the fact that Soul does have the full blink up on the Sven. So you do have another form of initiation now on GRIN Esports.
Yeah, it's a lot of output right now from GRIN. Like, they can get some good jumps going. I think ideally you'd want to blink up on at least Rain as well on the support Batrider, and once you can get that start with lasso pullback, things start to open up a lot more for GRIN. For the Cut, as long as they keep applying pressure in the lanes and keep applying pressure on the map, I don't think you feel too bad. Just, you cannot afford to bleed out. You cannot afford to lose Scourge McDuck in the middle of all of this. He does have the Ags now, and the Bristol's starting to reach that point where it is pretty hard to manage, but without any additional armor just yet, there are still openings for GRIN. They will go for its smoke play.
They are going to run right towards the north. Ade could be their target. He does have Bulldoze available, but he might not have time to react. In fact, never mind that, because south, they found MTD. A nice global silence, though. Going to buy time for MTD to try and remnant out of there. Not before doing some damage. Ade being attacked, but charges there. He will get Rain Prince. Empyrean's still fine. Eventually going to go down to Rojo Fireflu. Soul's jumped in. A big rolling thunder. Rojo, he's got all 3 of them trapped up. This is a really bad team fight for the Cut now. The Soul dropping a little bit low. Needs to be a little bit wary of those cool sprays. Scourge McDuck, he's moving back in off the back of MTD, but a big stun out. Soul has got a triple kill. B-God will make it out, but there's 4 down in the Cut. Soul, seeing the opportunity, moved back in. And what a stun it was. Another great team fight for GRIN Esports. And that was 3K worth of gold going their way, John. That is a big, big deal.
That is a huge swing for GRIN. All of a sudden, Soul's #1 in that word, overtaking Scourge McDuck. A couple of things not lining up for the Cut. They managed to get this really good Mystic Flare Ancient Seal onto the Beastmaster Muzi before he gets a roar off, but he doesn't die. He lives long enough, gets the roar off in the middle of that fight. Suddenly the chase for Scourge McDuck is just over. There's enough time for the damage to fly out from Soul. Like, again, the Bristleback, he's pretty tanky, but when you have God Strength up, even your back won't save you. There's enough physical output. Not enough armor in Scourge McDuck to reliably reduce that damage. So you have to watch out for that. You have to respect that Sven here.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very interesting scenario now for the Cut and GRIN Esports. Like, there's still a 3K advantage, but it's this classic bristleback, right? Like, you don't know at what point this hero is just not going to be a hero any longer. And against the Sven, you have to make the argument, like, that the scaling is just going to be better for Soul. Like, he is building into the Silver Edge after all. Or rather, excuse me, no, it is the Silver Edge. I was correct the first time. It's better call it a Silver's Blade. That's not the item, though. It's GRIN Esports. I mean, once you get the Silver Edge up...
Mike?
No, I said Silver's Blade, John. It doesn't exist. Don't worry about the Silver's Blade. It's a
What
spoiler.
if it did exist?
It will.
New
Next
item.
patch, John.
New item. It's the build-up from Falcon Blade with a Shadow Blade.
I thought you were going to say
Silver
Aether
Blade.
Lens.
Dyer's
You know,
No.
with what Reddit's been complaining about recently.
We got spoiled by Aether Lens, Mike. It's not coming back as a build-up.
No.
Too strong. And the side of GRIN is equally too strong right now. Are forcing in top. They did manage to invade that triangle as well, stealing a few of those stacks. And the side of the cut, they're finding themselves on the back foot now. BKB for Scourge McDuck, again, will help the cause. I want to see armor. I want to see either a Lotus or just a full-on AC or a Shivas coming out on this Bristleback. Just a little bit more armor up front, and that should sort out most of your issues until that Silver Edge does come out for Soul.
Newsy, charge in. Mystic Flare out. He's still dropped somehow alive, but not for long. Rojo, in the meantime, does pop the Rolling Thunder, but is just going to escape with it. Understands he can't go in anymore. Rojo, be careful now, sir. Be very, very careful, because they've got the charge out. Nether Strike is there. Are they? Hoping for some bashes, but they've got the chains to lock him down. Rojo, lifesteal, but no, there's the bash. Right after the chains, you know? Gaben's a fair god, John. He doesn't let you chain stun. Or he lets you chain stun perfectly, rather. You can't suck the stuns.
No. He's a very caring and just and kind person to give that perfectly timed stun. All skill from the cut, of course.
Of course.
All calculated. They calculated that dive right by the tier 3 with the tier 2 still standing, not knowing that no one from GRIN would TP in as well to punish. And they get away with it. Yeah, not the biggest kill at this point. You're basically still killing off support, considering Rojo Fireflu's net worth. It does give you something to play with at the least, but your concerns are still with Soul. Your concerns are with just this build-up in Muzi as well, going for the auras, going for the full pipe next. Once you have a Crimson Guard up as well, that's going to be really significant up against this Bristleback that you're trying to enable on Scourge McDuck. For the cut. This game doesn't get any easier as it scales on. Like, I don't see it as simplifying for them at all. I think you have some struggles up against Aurora and Lasso here. You're going to need a few Lincolns. MTD is going for one himself, but you will want a little bit more than one, considering all the single target they have. GRIN lining up for the bot tower, and they could go Roshan here as well.
He certainly could. MTD going to show himself here on the Ember. Does have a haste rune to play with. GRIN still waiting around the area, not forcing Roshan yet. But I think they will definitely go for it. Immediate TP's down to the bot lane here from the cut. Nice timing as well, because you've got the BKB on Scourge McDuck. But he needs to TP to his team very, very soon. There's the TP coming into the outpost now. Keep in mind, they've got to fight underneath Hawk Vision here on the Radiant end. Charges there. They've already found the Sven. Roshan's still not down. Mystic Flare. It was committed, but they knocked him out of the range. It won't matter though. He's down. He is down for 50. No buyback available for the Sven. Is now Muzi to drop. Salivating Salamander to drop. There's 3 down. They do at least find Empyrean, but what does it matter? Rojo Fireflu's caught. Rojo's gone. Double kill for Scourge McDuck, and Roshan is now officially open for the cut. And GRIN Esports once again find themselves 10k net worth behind.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for GRIN. All coming down to this really great global sounds coming out from Empyrean. He waits for the Lotus Orb to come out into that Sven, and then just gets the silence off. Nothing can come out. There's no play. There's no Warhammer, Stormhammer that can come through to stun up. No Lasso, no Roar. Nothing available. And Empyrean, watching that fight really well, gives that opening for the cut. To find those pickoffs, find the Aegis, and suddenly find themselves in this position where they can just outright win. Can Scourge McDuck one-shot for Mentor with enough stacks, I wonder? It's a lot in the barrier.
It certainly is.
Solo this?
I mean, he's going to solo it quite easily, actually, here, John. Scourge McDuck, no problems for himself. There you go. Some heroes need illusions. Some heroes need clones. Bristleback just needs himself, John. He's a manly man, this guy.
Yeah, he's got that Justin Timberlake song going. Sexy back here for Scourge McDuck.
Oh, that's an old one.
He's feeling good about himself. That is a banger, though. Every time I hear that song, I say, yeah,
Yeah.
it is a banger. It is a
I
banger.
was in high school.
And like this game. Yeah. All the way back for us, Mike. Old people.
Yeah.
Very old people now.
Yeah.
In this game, not getting old yet. 20-9. 24 minutes in. 12k lead for the side of the cut. Clearing out that bot tier 2. Scourge McDuck again, pretty much doing it solo. And he is going for the AC, so with the additional armor up, it gets a lot harder to handle. Even if you get the break off, just having this armor on Scourge McDuck might be enough to buy him some time to survive here. And he already has his level 15 town. Anyway, with his side reduction up, he's got a little bit of that spell lifesteal coming on here as well. Like he's a hard to manage Bristle. Planar pocket being up for Ade can even potentially save you from roars and lassos as well. So even the shard from Ade coming out from the Tormentor is highly valuable. And for GRIN, again, this game's not out of their hands, but it is a difficult game in comparison to Game 2. Like, they did not have a great start. Rojo has very little impact right now on that Pangolier. And, well, for the side of GRIN, they've got to be on point with this single target spell usage. They have to be very good with Aurora Lasso. They have to be very patient with their debuffs, with their dispels. You know, they have to wait for the global silence first from Empyrean, and that's a tough call. It's either you kill Empyrean first or you somehow outplay him with his timing in the global silence there.
T2 top tower. It is now gone, the cut. Can they go high ground? It seems like they will try. They'll try to press the timing now with this Bristleback feeling so strong at the moment. GRIN Esports preparing for the high ground defense. You do at least deal with the creep wave, so the cut do need to go back and reset a little bit. Still a minute 50 on the Aegis timer. So they have plenty of time to try and make a reappearance here on the high ground with this creep wave upcoming, but it seems like they're going to leave it be. They don't want to throw this huge lead away, because one team fight that's won by GRIN Esports here in this stage of the game, it might make it so your Bristleback just never recovers.
Still a very tempo-based core.
Ade.
We'll admit, though. Oh,
They have dust. Oh, they missed the dust. They miss it. They will not see Ade.
we have to
His
admit
Shadow Bane is going to wear
sometimes.
off. Yeah, go on, John.
Sometimes, you know, neutral items work your way. I'm getting a free Vampire Fangs on Bristle is kind of ridiculous. With the fact that your spell life steals all the ways to 25, right? 10% is still massive for this year, for free.
Yeah. Huge.
Oh.
Jump in. Raw was committed onto B-God. He will go down. So
a big
a nice
streak.
little cheeky pick-off. And there, the streak does go the way of Salivating Salamander, so a nice little gold influx for the Pug now. More importantly, though, with the Skywrath down for 30 seconds, the cut may not feel confident to go high ground again. By the time the Skywrath's up, the Aegis is going to expire.
Nice kill. Good side of GRIN stalling out that first Aegis here for the side of the cut. Not able to do too much with it. Are going to be forced to just play it safe, play it patiently. Charge out here from Ade, though.
Absolutely going into the Sven. This is the big
Oh,
pick-off.
no.
If they can find it, Ade just needs the bashes. Where's the bashes? Oh, nice juke from Soul.
Oh.
Down towards the south.
Dire's top
Oh, and the voice lines as well, just to make them know about it. Now, hold on a minute. TP coming.
radiant are scanning.
We do have B-God around this area, but I don't think he's quite well aware that the Sven has run towards the west side of the map. And it seems like Soul is going to be just fine.
Yeah, he has the TP out as well. He's not in the danger zone right now. Very nice place to, again, commit more time out from the cut and keep that build-up that you'd want on the side of GRIN. Manta being worked on here by Rojo Fireflute to have his own self-dispel now. And just the Global Silence doing a lot of work. And that Ancient Seal. To have a way for Rojo to not worry about that should allow him to get some better rolls in the middle of these fights. So it's still not being spotted. Like he is allowed to farm up in these camps down south. It's going to be perfectly fine playing the catch-up. Not too far off from Scourge McDuck's build-up. Scourge for his part, full AC up and running. Bristle back now. Really hard target to pin down. Even with that break, might still be a challenge to find that kill. Going for the halberd next going to be highly effective up against that. Sven inside of the cut. Probably just going to have to wait for that next Roche. I'm at 40 until we see the respawn. They've done a great job, though, of just ensuring every wave is shoved out. So no real openings coming out for GRIN. And the net worth lead is still growing for the cut. So it's not like you're managing to keep up. The map just slipping away from your control. Very little access to the camps does make it challenging in trying to get that itemization up regardless.
Well, here you go, GRIN. Back to the high ground defense. Still the push is being attempted here from the cut. You almost just want to wait for Ade to bring the full Ags out. He's got enough gold for it, and he does buy it outright. So, yeah, you can always just charge back very quickly to the Dire base, so it's not too big of a deal if the SB has TP'd back towards his own base. Chains out onto the Sven, but there's no follow-up to it. You got to kind of reiterate, like, one bad team fight could turn this whole game back around for GRIN Esports. High ground is where they want to do it. While we're talking about broken items, by the way, broken neutral items, John, this Vindicator's axe on Sven. This one really bothers me. Like, plus 35 attack speed, but, like, if you get stunned, you get 20 arm. How crazy is that?
Yeah, all of these neutrals with the conditionals are pretty damn strong. Like, they are kind of nutty. I think the Spark of Courage is actually insane.
It is.
That one should... Like, that is definitely way too much for a tier 1 neutral. 18 damage and 7 armor. It's like, what?
Insanity. Actual insanity.
Enjoy them while they're here. Enjoy them while they last, you know. They are for sure getting touched up. Who knows when? But down the line, values will be adjusted. But yeah, on Sven, like, attack speed is what he needs, and he just gets everything he wants. Get silence, more damage for you, sir. Keep hitting away. You get stunned, you're not gonna die. You've got 20 armor with your war cry. You're fine.
Yeah. It's an amazing item against Spirit Breaker because all he does is stun you. So all these hits with plus 20 armor, it's like, well, you're just tickling the guy now. You know? So you add War Cry, he gets 25 armor. Then you add the Vindicator's axe, he has 45 armor. If he gets bashed. It's pretty crazy. Like, what damage are you going to deal to this guy? Well, here we go. We're about to find out because GRIN have smoked up. They'll go through the twin gates, head through the bottom lane with the smoke. They won't find anyone quite yet. They'll just try to secure this area of the map and get that farm going here on Soul. Soul just trying to work towards the harpoon timing. Now a Heaven's Halberd available on Scourge McDuck. It's going to be very annoying to try and play against as the Sven. Do love that bonus kind of evasion as well against the Sven hero. And Ade, bottom lane, Yule Stub, going to try and go for a run. Global Silence was there, but they've got plenty of damage. Ade, though, with the evasion, is going to get out. His own Heaven's Halberd, making him miss twice on the Sven in a row. And that was more than enough.
Just gives him the space. Global Silence was expanded from Empyrean. So a pretty massive cooldown to commit, but you don't give any openings out to GRIN. You manage to prevent that clump up from paying off for GRIN as well. So you don't mind too much on the side of the cut. Are just waiting for the next Roche. Spawn time in less than a minute now. Gonna be a big objective for them to take to find that opening onto the high ground. And for GRIN, it has to be really patient. Like, they know there's an opportunity here with no Global Silence. They just need to find that opening now. If they find someone off guard without that Global Silence to save, then this game can open up, but looks like they are more than happy to just sit back and farm, and that could cost them the next Roshan here.
That it could. "13 seconds for that Roshan timer. Hawks have been removed. The GRIN Esports not going to be feeling too good leaving this one be for free, but they don't really have much of an option in the matter. Take the time to get that farm up as high as possible here on Soul and hope for the best from there. Roshan now officially started here by the cut. Aegis and Cheese both available on Roshan. Not going to take very, very long, of course. It's quite a quick process, in fact. And now it is completely gone. So the cut, immediate smoke up as 4. Charges out from Ade onto the creep wave, but the cut certainly looking to try and go high ground now. No two ways about it.
Yeah. Nothing to stop him really with the secondary life up and cheese up. More than secure to try. And GRIN can team fight pretty well, but again, they have to find really good angles. And Global Silence is back up in Empyrean.
Well, this bottom tier 3 tower, it's really not going to last. How even the Ags now up on B-God to boot. Here we go. Charges out onto Rain Prince. He'll be fine for now. Soul jumping in. B-God getting deleted immediately on the Skywrath Mage. He's down with that buyback. They've even got a lasso onto Ade, holding him down, but they've lost the Bat Rider. Meanwhile, Scourge just manning up. The Sven can't deal with it. Soul, he's going to go down. They'll commit a roar, trying to at least find MTD, but no, he gets the cheese off. He's going to make it in time. Rojo Fire Flu still trying to deal the damage onto the Bristle. But Scourge McDuck will survive with the Aegis intact. And now he can just completely reset. He's got plenty of regen for it. Bottom lane open. The car will go for the bottom lane of barracks. Onto the mid, onto the top. There's no tier 3s, tier 2s, or tier 1s to protect. And I think this might just be Megas. 45 seconds without the Sven, there's no way to defend.
No. I think you threw out all your spells as well. You have something coming off cooldown on the respawns, but it's just not fast enough. These racks melt so damn quick. Fortify is at least up to stall out. We'll buy some time, but not nearly enough time. And the side of the cut, and they push the limits.
And jump in again. Pugner getting completely removed from this game. Celebrating Salamander. Unable to survive. Ade, Nether Strike is out onto the Bat Rider. Rojo Fireflu will try to slow things down. Scourge, however, will secure Megas now. And they are just dealing no damage to the Bristleback. It is just not happening. It seems like the cut rather, not the cat. They will end up going for a reset in the fountain. GRIN Esports, they're up against Mega Creeps.
That they are. I mean, they can deal with it to an extent, right? You've got the Sven, you've got a Pango. You can sort of deal with the creep waves at the very least, but it's not going to be a comfy time now. Your Sven's just not big enough to dish that damage again, even with a break. Bristleback's still really tanky. You have the full Abyssal ready for Scourge McDuck. You can go into the Ag's Blessing, probably pick up a Heart or Overwhelming Blink at that point. And I don't know if you can really stop Scourge. Heck, there's maybe a meme-year build-up for him as well. Maybe you go something like a Bloodstone, which is kind of funny, but it sounds funny, but it does work really well with Bristle still. I mean, the spell Lifesteal. Yeah, if he decides to stack that up, I don't think you kill Scourge McDuck at all. Not at all, even with a break. Like, this Bristle is just going to be too big. And now he's just going to use that sexy back once more to take the Tormentor. No problems.
That's a new terminology here for the Bristleback. Just using the sexy back. There you go. He'll get the shards himself as well, I believe. So, does have the hairball up now.
Yeah, you're right. There is a cat here with a hairball, I guess.
Good one, John. There it is. Really, no impact there from the hairball, I must admit. Still left a green dot on the map. That was about it. It's Mersey. Gonna back his way out. Oh, whoopsie daisies, the Lotus Orb. It works against him.
Cancel it.
Ade, quick thinking, and the cancel is not there from Mersey. Just not expecting it. 2 kills, no buybacks. Onto the tier 4 towers. GRIN Esports, I always give them props for not calling and trying till the final stages of the game, but they will lose their Pango to boot. Though buyback is at least available on Rojo Fireflu, and he will commit it. Because they do need it. Soul, he'll jump in. Ade, he's the target. But everyone's just so tanky. Scourge is going to move into boot on the Bristleback, and Rojo Fireflu, he will be dying back immediately. It's the cut. 1 tier 4 down. We'll find a second, but the GG's call. GRIN Esports, they put up a valiant effort here, John, against the cut, trying to deny that first place tiebreaker between the 3 teams in Division 2 of NA. But nevertheless, the cut, they make it happen. now tied in first place. And sadly for GRIN Esports, they are yet to pick up a series win.